Hello, my networking friend. It's so good to see you today. It's a little bit later than normal, and I cannot even tell you it's been technical difficulty after technical difficulty. It's just that funny little spinning wheel. So glad that you're here. Excited to see everybody that is watching on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks for being here. Welcome to another episode of Networking Know-How. And I just wanted to pop in here, share a little bit of the tips that are going on. If this is your first time connecting, let me introduce myself. I'm Laura Morlando, the Stress Commando, and I am the founder and CEO of Down and Dirty Networking. And every Wednesday, I go live for Networking Know-How, where I share some insights, tips to help you have more meaningful connections when you're networking. And so you can network more stress-free like we do in our Down and Dirty Networking online community. And today's topic's really a good one to kind of get you a sneak peek, kind of a behind the scenes of what's going on with me. But the idea that what we're going to talk about today is the shocking truth about the island of alone. Now, if you've never heard of the island of alone, I'm sure you've experienced it in one fashion or another. So let me explain. The island of alone is when you feel like you are all alone, like nobody is around to help you. Or maybe you're the only one experiencing what you are experiencing. Or maybe you're the only one that can do the thing that you need to do and the thing that you need to face. And so you just feel very isolated on this island of alone. And after a while, not only is it very isolating, it can be very defeating. And it makes it difficult, especially when you're facing something that's got a very full plate. It makes it very difficult for you to move forward powerfully. And I'm definitely in one of those situations now. And so if you've been following along, you know I've been a caregiver for my mom. And unfortunately, my mother passed away last Tuesday. But in one regard, fortunately, hey, I see someone watching live. Thank you for being here. My mom really was ready and she'd been suffering, and I'm just grateful that she's at peace. And this really does tie into what we're talking about today. And so the first time I went through this with my dad when he died, and I'm celebrating 21 years this month in May since he had passed, I really did feel like I was on that island of alone. I felt like I was the only one that could do the role that I was doing in the family, which was the financial breadwinner. I didn't receive any help. No, let me rephrase that. I wasn't open to receiving help. I had people willing to help. I just wasn't open to it. And I just felt like I was the only one that could deal with what I was dealing with. I was the only one that could do the things at work to get done because my focus was financial. And I just kept piling it on my shoulders and piling it on my shoulders. And what I have since learned is one, that's an impossible way to live. I don't recommend it. But I started making changes. And in fact, that is when I became the stress commando. So fast forward. So 14 years after that, I'm once again on the island of alone, but this time because of my own health diagnosis. And it was incredibly isolating. I could no longer go out into the real world. The virtual space was the only thing that I had a connection to. And this is pre-COVID. So not everybody was loving the virtual world at that time. And so I was really all alone and very disconnected. And ultimately, that's what gave me the idea to really launch the Down and Dirty Networking online community, because I wanted to connect other people around the globe that might be feeling lonely, feeling like they're on this island of alone, whether it be personally or professionally, and increase the connectedness and in vibrational energy, just increase that. Because when you're connected, you increase your vibrational energy. They both go hand in hand. And so here I am as a caregiver. And once again, I'm going through preparing for my mom's funeral, which is this Friday, which you're seeing, why you're seeing casual version. I'm in heavy get it done mode right now. But this go round, I'm not on that island of alone. And that's the shocking truth. The island of alone is a choice. And you have a choice whether you can stay on that island or you can get off. And the life raft off that island of alone is relational networking. It's what I call relational networking. I'm not talking about the networking where you're trying to get a job. Hi, my name is, buy my stuff, or get a promotion. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is building relationships that are authentic by having meaningful conversations to learn from and about someone. And one of the things that I have learned in this journey, my healthcare journey, and now this caregiving journey with my mom, being authentic is very key. So authentic means being truly who you are. I have naturally curly hair, and even though I might straighten it, I'm still authentically a curly girl. That's just how it is. So I'm going to be authentically myself. So number one is you want to be authentic. That's an easy way for you to engage in relational networking. Number two, you're going to want to be genuine. Now, by genuine, And to be fair, I thought genuine and authentic were somewhat similar until I really looked into it. Genuine is caring about the other person, caring about what you're going to say. So authentically, I'm going to give guidance, but I'm going to do it with love and do it genuinely. I could be an authentic jerk and just be a jerk all the time. That's not being very genuine and caring about you. So I will be both authentic and genuine. And then the third piece to get off that island of alone when you're engaging in relational networking is to be transparent. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be transparent. If you've seen any of the past posts, I've got Christmas still up at my house. And the reason I do is because I put all of my caregiving energy into my mom. And it was with the right thing to do. It's what I did with my dad. I didn't regret it. I don't regret it now. But ultimately, early on, I wasn't going to say anything because I'm the kind of person that takes Christmas down right as Epiphany happens or close to it within like 1 or 2 days. And I was really kind of embarrassed by that. But this is where I was. And I was making a choice to put my mom first. And I have limited energy with what I experience from the health concerns that I deal with. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm not the only one who experiences this. Maybe I need to be transparent so I can feel a little bit better about moving forward powerfully with my mom. And maybe, just maybe, there's someone out there that needs to hear this. And see, that's the whole point of relational networking. It's to be more about the person you're talking to, having a two-way conversation, not a one-way conversation where I'm just selling and telling you stuff. That's traditional networking. That's why sometimes it's called transactional networking. But relational networking, when you're really engaging in that, you're genuine, you're authentic, and you're transparent. And so I started sharing my story here. Some of the podcasts that I was interviewed. Hey, as a full-time caregiver. Now, I'm not going around saying a poor me story. I'm not talking about that. I'm not doing a story to, hey, look at me. It's not that. It's just the season I'm in. It's where I'm at. And I cannot tell you how many people, the minute I was transparent, how many people reached out and said, oh my gosh, I'm going through that season of life right now, or I did, and they gave me great words of advice at a time when I really needed it, even if it was in social media. Sometimes people tell me, you can't build relationships on social media. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I have connected with more people on social media in the past several months because of the type of content I've been putting out and because I have been genuine, authentic, and transparent. And because I lead with the relational networking mindset to learn from and about someone. I'm not interested in what I can get from you. It's what can I learn from you? And where can I provide value? Where can I help you? And these are the keys for you to create that connectedness that is the life raft off the island of alone. I did a post last Tuesday about my mom passing, and I put a picture of the ballerina, the Nutcracker ballerina that is still on my Christmas tree, and I shared why I got over that, and why coming in to the house when I would come to pick up, clothes or other things because I was full time at my mom's, and so I thought, look, this is great. I'm just going to lean into Christmas instead of looking at it from the lens of a burden and one more thing I got to take down when I don't have the energy and my body's on fire. No, I love Christmas. What can I love about there? And this Nutcracker ballerina is one my mom and I picked out together. And so I leaned into that. So when you're being authentic, genuine, and transparent, it gives you an opportunity to reframe your perspective, and it gives you an opportunity to lean in to the things that give you joy and move away from the things that are creating stress. And it's all a choice. That's the secret truth about the island of alone. It's a choice. The mindset you choose to adopt, which I highly recommend you adopt a relational networking mindset, and by being authentic, transparent, and genuine. Really care about the other people that you're talking to, and you will be shocked and amazed what you learn. Now, I see a bunch of you watching on social now, so get up and chat. Let me know where you're watching from, and I'd love for you to contribute to this conversation. Even if you're watching on replay, I'd really like to know what you think. Some of the people have asked me some of the most amazing questions on social as they have found out that my mom is passing and the funeral is going to be in a couple of days. And what's been so great is, and I just saw this actually a couple minutes before going live, finally getting over the technical issues. There's the word, the technical issues. And I can be very awkward sometimes, like wanting to say the right thing, not wanting to say the right thing. And so I stumble over my words. And then maybe I don't even say anything at all because I feel so awkward or feel so awkward to type it on social since I'm so virtual. But I just saw someone post this. So Thank you, my friend Charles, for reminding me and giving me permission to just lean in and do it anyway. And he typed something, and then he just said, "Sorry for your loss." And then he typed another comment, and he said, "I always struggle with what to say. Tell me a little bit about your mom." I'm telling you right now, that question touched my heart. The goal of conversation, the goal of social media is to get into conversations. The goal of conversations is to learn about someone, to learn from someone. That is at its core relational networking. That is what we call it is the ability to sit and hold space to learn from somebody and about them. And at its core, which is why it's one of the core values of down and dirty networking, is to lean in to talk less, question more. So I love that question. And I love that Charles asked that. He was transparent that he feels awkward, and then he asked a question. I appreciated that reminder because I need to use that more. I struggle with being awkward, and it's better to lean into it than to not. And he led with love. He was very genuine, but he really wanted to say something meaningful, and he did. And he did because he had that intention to do it. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that you can apply this with your coworkers, the vendors, the clients, the people that you interact with in your day. You are going to be blown away the support that you get. There are certain words that I like to remove from my vocabulary. Just is one of them. No one is just anything. My mother would say, "I'm just a homemaker." No, she's not. She was a domestic CEO that ran an amazing house, and it was a full-time mom. She did work on the side and had a degree and was very smart and had all of these amazing gifts, many of which she didn't acknowledge for herself, but that's another conversation. But no, my mom wasn't just anything. It minimizes. So just, should. We should never should on ourselves. Should needs to be removed. Should creates an expectation that may not be realistic. I should not feel like I'm all alone. I should just power through. That's unrealistic. You need help. You need support. You need connectivity. We all do. That's why we are all on this planet together and not a planet of one. That's why. That's why. And so should that word. And the other word that I feel, so there's just and there's should. And then when you remove all of these words and you remove the stigma around networking, then that is how you move forward in a more meaningful way. So there was a third word, and it was a really good one, and it fell out of my head. So let me just be transparent there. So if you're like, where did she go with that? Welcome to my brain. Welcome to brain fog. And it's just my plate is full. And it's full of great things. Oh, the third word. I said full, so now I remembered. Okay, welcome to my brain. The word that I'm also working on removing from my vocabulary is overwhelm. Thanks to my mentor, Jen, there in the mastermind, she was like, get overwhelmed out because then you get more overwhelmed. And I agree with this. What you focus on expands. And so I had been using this word early on because I was so early on in the week of last week because I was overwhelmed with the generosity, love, and support that I was getting the minute I announced that my mother had passed. So it was a good way. But I was like, oh, this word has negative energy attached to it. I need something with a little bit more positive. And I finally said, my plate is full and my cup is overflowing. I am overflowing with gratitude for the amount of love and support that I am getting. And I like that word a whole lot better. I like that phrasing a whole lot better. And so I would encourage you, pay attention to your mindset, pay attention to the words that you say, and then communicate that to other people. And the only way that could be overflowing in me was because I chose to get off the island alone, but I allowed myself to be open to receive what people are giving me. And that's not typical for me. I usually walk around like my fist like this, powering through. I'm going to power through. And a coach told me years ago, Laura, for you to receive something, you have to have your hand open. You have to be able to receive it. So if you're on that island of alone, relax your hand, open your hand, reach out to people, connect with them, be authentic, transparent, and genuine. Lead with love, and you will be shocked and amazed what you're going to be able to see. And even on social, when you're typing, you're going to hear questions and connections. And I've shared stories with people about my mom and their mom. And I found that someone's grandmother died on the same day as my mom, and we've had an interesting conversation all on social for this. So do not underestimate the power of more than just a thumbs up, a heart, or love this that we put on social media. It matters. It makes a difference. Focus on relational networking to learn from and about people, and you will be blown away how you are never on that island of alone, and you just might be the life raft for someone who needs to be off the island of alone. And it feels really good to give, but you have to be willing to receive. It's a two-way street. All right. Thank you so much if you're still watching. And those of you watching, I see a bunch of you watching live. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. Thank you for co elevating, because that's what we do. We co elevate here at Down and Dirty Networking. And I hope this is helpful. You can 100% apply this to your personal and professional life. And if you are not really sure how, drop me a message. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out how we can use these techniques and this approach to increase your vibrational energy, get you off the island of alone, and skyrocket your career with ease. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to the Down and Dirty Networking Facebook and LinkedIn pages for more articles, tips, and tricks to network more stress free and have more meaningful conversations like we do in our Down and Dirty Networking community. Or if you'd love some general networking tips like, Laura, I really need more clients, I really need to do transactional networking, but I'd love to adopt a relational networking mindset, tune into the Down and Dirty Networking YouTube channel. There are a bunch of playlists and curated tips for you to be able to streamline your success with making connections that are meaningful and getting to the people that really want your service in a way that's surrounded by relationships and is not salesy or spammy at all. So check the Down and Dirty Networking YouTube page for those tips. And if you're having trouble finding anything, you're looking for something specific, drop me a message. I'm always here to help and I'll point you in the right direction. All right. Thank you to the Down and Dirty Networking members who have been amazing in supporting inside of our community while I have been on this long journey and who are continuing to support me as we're running through the finish line to be able to get to the funeral. And then as I finished with some of the last requests that I promised for my mom, um, thank you for blessing me. It's not lost on me. All right. I hope you have an amazing week. And until next Wednesday, I will see you next Wednesday, sometime between 3:30 and 5:30 Central Standard Time, or maybe it's later like today, if in fact technology failed me. But I appreciate you and I wish you a great week. And until then, happy networking.